Welcome to the Real Double Dose Channel broadcast station, focused on the real reels of real life, love, growth, and of course, elevation within all levels. RDDC is exactly the place where anyone can discover more depth, love, light, and clarity within themselves, and elevate from other people's walks of life, conversations, and questions, along with deeper insights. So tune in and be a part of the Double Doses with Lexus T and RDDC.
Hello, everyone. This is your girl, Lexus T, coming at you straight from the heart where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. I'm going to do the intro a little different because I'll have to inform you about that here in a little bit. Maybe you'll hear it on the episode of Friday, which is Heck versus Hell, which is not going to be an episode, kind of an update, but Hector, right? Hector Rivera is usually one that helps us with some of our editing and different stuff. We used to have Mr. Risco, but it's not going to be that way right now. So from TuneIn to Stitcher, I can't even say it. Stitcher Radio, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, SoundCloud, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Google Cast, wherever you're at, it's here. It's right now. Thank you for your loving hearts, your amazingness, and so much. And hashtag out to Singapore and Germany. Yes, I just want to say you guys are really on it. Singapore, I've always wanted to come visit you. Okay, some of my friends that grew up in Singapore, I just want to say, and a lot of my friends, one of my good friends, his mother is from Germany, and yeah, they were gonna make some, I forget, borscht. I want to say borscht, but it's more of a Russian dish, I know, right? Not schnitzel. It's something he was gonna make. Don't get upset. But yeah, I want to say extra love out there because you guys have really been on it with the downloads and listens, and I was like, whoa! Everyone else, we love you as well. Thank you for coming in with your info. It's not a competition, okay? But I just want to say we love you. And I want to start this off by saying you get what you get because it's raw, most times unfiltered. And I do write notes when the clarity comes to me and God interjects me with that. But I want to say I hope that all of you are doing well. If you want to reach out for right now, it's Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com. That's YANDX.com. And as well as TikTok, which I can say Oracle Mother Goddess Lex T. Okay. I don't think it's D, but Oracle Mother Goddess Lex T. That's what it is. Angela nullified that. But I want to put that in here, and IG still, it's going to be revamped and doing stuff in the YouTube as well. Had a little bit of a hiccup from a temporary movement from not having a Hector here, and it's really, really detrimental. But we'll get that here soon. And you probably went, what's going on? Yeah, it's insane. I probably had maybe like 10 hours of sleep over the last 4 days. It's yeah. So let's get this on. This is hashtag too good to be true. Now we might have a part 1 and part 2 to this. I am looking at some notes to make sure I get all the little goodies that I put in here when I put that in here. So just bear with me if there's a pause or something like that, because I want to make sure I give it all. But you might have to just work with me here a little bit. Now I'll say hashtag too good to be true. Don't get me wrong. I was drinking some of my decaf, a cold brew pour in coffee with my oat milk. Yeah, oat milk. I forgot the name of them, but they're really good. I order them from my favorite place in the world, one of my favorite places in the world, Amazon. Hashtag Amazon. You always have my bag. I got yours too. I'm just saying, I love you, Mr. Bezos, but God more. But I want to say that if you hear me trying to gasp or something, it's a little bit cold with the 30-something degree wind chill snow coming finally down here in beautiful Midwest Minnesota. But I want to say, like, at this point right now, I know you're probably wondering, I'm supposed to be down there in the heat down in Texas and Cali. That's still to be continued right now. We've got some hiccups going on, but that's to be expected because we know another conversation coming up with TSMA. If Hector's going to be with us or not on that, I don't know right now, but it's going to be about the curse of the world and why hiccups happen. Yeah, you want to tune in for that. So I can't say this is going to be a 7-minute with Lex because right now we're probably like 4 minutes in, but I want to talk to you as well. It's not just me talking at you. I want to talk with you and have a good conversation. So let me get to the thing. So the other day, there was a gentleman that came over and did some services at one of our properties. And he was, sweet, sweet, calm and cool. And he did what he had to do. And I remember, I don't know how the conversation came up, but I brought up, coffee or something like that. And he was like, oh yeah, I wish I had some espresso or something. I wish I could afford it, his kids and his wife. I said, okay. And with the partnerships I have with the greatest, one of the biggest platforms in the world, I had one. I had an extra one that I had going on with my own personal stash, and I hadn't opened up the box yet. And I was thinking to myself, man, that sounds wonderful. It wasn't his wife's, I don't know if it was anniversary or anything like that, but I remember I went down to the sala, or the living room area. And then I went to there and I'm like, let me go and see what I have. And I'm like, I didn't want to speak too soon. And I pulled it out with my hands, trying to grab it. It's a little heavy. And he was like, what's this? And I was like, it's for you. He goes, oh, no, I can't take that. I can't take that. I can't do that. I'm like, why? Company policy? And I remember my mother had came and she had pointed at him after a while of negotiating. She said, look, she pointed at him with her short little cute self and said, you are going to take that. And like I told him, like, you can't really fight against, OG. So going on 80 in a few years, you're not gonna win this war. So he was like, oh well, I'm telling him, like, well, we can do it personal. I understand people do business, they don't want to get in trouble, but if someone's forcing it upon you, you can't insult the client either. Okay. It's not like we were handing him $500 cash and saying, hey, but he was, nervous about it, but he was excited but nervous. So to gather that why this conversation is coming up, it really hit me. For example, a certain person gives that gift, like I did. He couldn't believe it. Asking all these questions like, hey, is it for me? What's the catch, kind of thing, or what do you want for it? Like it was almost like a side hustle thing. Like, hey, how much you want for that? I'm like, this is not a shady transaction, okay? I just wanted to put that out there. So my thought form with that is, I just want to, I had to go look at these notes a little bit, but I'm going to read it, even though it's a little choppy, because I'm sorry, the Google Translate thing doesn't work on my phone too well, or not, the transcript, transcribing. It's okay, but it's not, it's like 75% accuracy. Sometimes it's like 95% accuracy. Get it together, Google Pixel, transcribe. Okay. As I was saying, the rest is kind of bomb, but we need to get that together. Your Google, do it. So on these notes, what I put, okay, so I put, they were asking all these questions, all this stuff, but at the same time, even for the person we meet, they say it was too good to be true properly, right? But maybe that's the problem. I'm not saying to get yourself in a bad situation, or maybe, the problem of the situation, but we don't believe anything is we don't believe things are good enough for us. Okay. That's what I think it was basically relaying in that moment. We don't believe anything is good enough to come to us. And I know the world has tainted it and all the other stuff we got going on here. So we have to be careful. It's a disclaimer for your mind. Be careful. But what if we blow our blessings from the doubts that keep coming because of that saying? Just like the man was saying, oh, I can't believe this. What is this? You're almost, almost trying to figure out, is it a scam thing or what's in it? For what do you want out of it? Kind of a solicitation. Like, what's the catch? I get it. But it was so excessive, and I get that he was in a situation where he was coming to do something and it just happened out the blue. But it almost made me feel like the other person that bought an item was, kind of feeling that moment in their head, like, it couldn't happen me standing in the store and someone said, hey, I bought an extra bag of Cheetos. I saw you trying to grab one off the shelf. You can have mine. I'm like, really? Oh my goodness. Like, what's in it? How much you want for it? That's our natural instinct. You notice that? It's our natural feeling for what we have. And there's another young lady. She was in a location where Hector was, and she literally, I think she was going to get married or so forth like that. And I remember we had some other stuff. We had, maybe it was some champagne flutes or beautiful, I mean, absolutely beautiful gold and diamond wedding collection for champagne flutes and the cake cutter and stuff. There's something romantic and intimate. Now, no, that wasn't what she was getting. She was getting some goblets for something else. And I remember Hector had said, well, maybe we should offer her this. You think we could? I'm like, yeah, might as well give her that, And all of a sudden she was just like, wow. That's amazing. Like that's I'm so thankful. And she was crying and excited. I was so excited for her. And that was it. But we, she stayed in touch, kept saying hello, thank you so much, and showing her gratitude, her people. And I was like, oh, it's cool, it's gratis. It's free. It's from God. We said it's from God down to us, over to you. Now, in the events of that, I had offered her, because we do a lot of vacation partnerships. Get yours. I'm gonna have that posted out. Get your free vacation. Go sign up for one of our TAGRs. Well, it's a past masterclass. You can find it at www.realdoubledosechannel.com. And as well as, different stuff we have rolling out. Just reach out to us. I'm actually going to have a new email for that so we can have all things sorted out differently, because the yandex.com one has been around for nearly a decade and it's good, but we're still like multiple thousands trying to skim through some different stuff, but we got you. Now, I offered the vacation, and it was over some time of talking, and she was, oh, well, what's this? And, what's the catch? And what's this? And I was like, man, so it triggered me off about when we gave, or the other day when he gave him that gift to bring home for him and his wife to enjoy. And I don't know, I guess it's kind of like, I know it's a lot of scams out there. I get it, but we'll accept something first time, or accept your service or your offer or your service that you come up to, or whatever it is. But it's a wall built up in us to where we just can't accept good things. You notice that you can't accept good things. It's like the feeling we've been taught and trained so much by this matriarch. Well, I can't say matriarchal, but matrix society. Well, I don't want any handouts or anything. It's like, well, why do we not believe that good things could come to us? Even though we show the things that happen with the biblical principles of toiling and the sweat by our brow, it's still the point where we have to understand where it comes from, of the easiness and the lightness of what the burden of what God will take off of us. We still believe it should be complete. And this is more of a man-made hardship than what the Bible originally meant. Yeah, the ground is going to be making us toil for it. It's not going to just bear fruit the way it was before the curse happened, before the fall. But it shouldn't be to a point to where we think our Father, the creator of all things, who made us come here, like basically created us here. We didn't have a choice to be here. Now people say, oh, don't know. Hashtag no. Do not think about taking your life. Absolutely not. My sister already lost hers, and my brother. We don't need all that. Okay, we're not saying that. But we didn't say, hey, boom, this is going to be our parents. Boom, this is going to be how we grow up. We didn't have a choice in that, right? Now, the spirit may have the breath coming, entering, but consciously from us on the human side point, we're like, oh, we didn't choose to be here. We didn't ask to be here, right? But why can't good things come to us or you? Why don't we just allow them, even on those conditionary feelings? You know what I mean? Why, why can't we believe someone to give us something good? And then it's like if a person says, well, here's some napkins and a free soda, we're like, oh, really cool. All right, thanks. It's more easier for us to take $1.99 or $1.23 soda for most of us, or something like that, or some napkins, and or whatever they offer us, and say, okay, sure, all right, we'll still offer, but we're not like, so, oh, okay, we actually can believe that will happen. Oh, here's a free sandwich. Really? Here's some extra fries. Oh, cool, but why? Why? Is it cheap enough? It's cheap enough for us to believe it's good, right? We can believe the freeness if it's cheap enough. It makes sense in our minds. Sometimes we're thinking to ourselves, how could we be good enough for this? And what did I do good enough to get this? When you have an expression, more vacations, more machinery, more job titles, more different stuff, we can believe, oh, we actually got this job. Oh, it's too good. This can't be right. Should I pinch myself? And I know a lot of you might be thinking, Lex, come on. Like, of course we're going to think that. Look at all the stuff going on in the world. Look at all that stuff. But is it so hard that we really don't understand blessings can come to us so easily? We ruin our blessings by not believing that a blessing can happen to us. That's what it is. I'm going to put that out there and say that it's an opportunity, not just a destination or the destiny. It's to carry you on. So I don't I don't really say that it's a bad comprehension of things, but what I will say is that if it's so easy, I'm putting the notes down now because they're so choppy, everybody. I mean, I'm hoping that's why I said this might be a part one. It might be okay. You'll see on the title, but the whole thing is even with my tiredness in here, I still had to go and I wanted to come back in some 30 something degree weather to speak to everyone. But don't count yourself out. Don't believe the hype. Don't think that, you have to be careful. I get it. I don't want you out here thinking that it's okay to be gone with the wind. I don't want you to think that life itself is going to make you easier when you don't accept what belongs to you. So, as I was saying, sorry for that little slight interruption, but I had to make sure I could see what was going on with the team and the pause. But serving a slice of everyday life is what we're here and RDC is all about. But I just want to say, I know, thank you for dealing with my little bit of fogginess and sleep deprivation, but I love you. I do. It's not to be disrespectful or mean. I want to get this out to you. And like I said, I'm going to do a part. If this doesn't sound well, you won't hear it at all. But it's about the message, though. Why? Why is it so hard for us to believe that a relationship, if a person comes into our life, I know we have to be like, man, why is this person being all sweet? I've asked for a person like this. There has to be something wrong. But do we find something wrong in the journey? Like, people can say, well, look at what happened. This guy had a whole relationship on the side, or this girl had a whole relationship, and this and this and that. So we kind of look at it like, should we have done any digging? Should we have believed it was true, or was it better to believe a lie? We were happier in the lie, but the lie was not the truth, right? The truth was set and make us free. What the Bible says, make us free, not set us free, but it also sets us free after it makes us free and liberates us from living a facade of a person dual minded or triple minded, and they're having a relationship over here, relationship over there, and we believe it's something else, and we live in that. Oh, I was happy before I knew this, but really they weren't. So it wasn't going to last anyway. Joy comes from the Lord. Happiness will come from another aspect. So it really wasn't a combined happiness, because if they were, they wouldn't be so set apart. Some of them would get, hey, oh, I don't want to hurt someone else's feelings, but I'm willing to hurt yours. I love them, but I love you more. That doesn't go. You have to serve one or the other. Okay, you can't just do all those things. Same thing though. What if it is that good relationship, for example, and we're digging and digging, and even though we don't find anything, we still are nitpicking and breaking that person apart to where they're like, man, I love you and I'm here, but this is getting heavy. You know what I mean? Like, this is getting too much. And then they have the ripple effect of that negativity where they're like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't come up and be this way or that way, or because when I showed love, I was picked apart, but maybe I'll, well, not renege, but retract on my love from the new relationship. This is from the ripple effect of the negativity that's spread now to where they don't have to question me as much as my other past relationship, which was you, that it happened. So it can have a negative effect moving forward, what we do to others, even from cutting someone off in line. It could be their last day of just dealing with crap. It could be like, oh, I just stepped in front of her, or I should freak out, because it's just something that just takes you over the threshold. We have a cap, no cap. Too good to be true. Is it too good to be true to accept something from somebody? And trust me, but look at us every year, or people every year, not me, but trick or treat, if you believe in that kind of thing. Ghouls and goblins and whatever else. We send our kids out, most of us now, or people send their kids out going to strangers' homes and basically sending them out on a blank mission. Millions of kids go missing, at least hundreds of thousands every year, to people's homes saying trick or treat. People put poison, all kinds of bodily fluid, this nasty stuff they do to our babies out here. It's too good to be true to knock on some stranger's door and get a bag full of candy and go home and be safe. I don't know. Is it too good to be true where a person feels that way? If you're in line and you buy them lunch and they could barely afford the burger, and you offer them a fry and dessert, or a homeless person sitting outside, they know someone can make their dreams come true, even if it's just getting a bottle of water from the store. Someone's bound to stop and say, hey, let me get you a bottle of water, or something, or give them enough change for that. And if not, it comes to the fact of what, from the core root of what I wanted to take from this especially, What makes us think it's not good enough for us to call it true? Why? Our kid being straight A's or school, the myth of school, I get it. Or our child being this, or our spouse being this, or our parents being this, or you just want a new car, unless it's a game show. It's like, why can't it be true? And maybe if we expect better things to be true, have our discernment from God, of course, only God and the Spirit, the Holy Spirit can give us discernment, but the depth of the human discernment, the level of what capacity, our instincts, that gut feeling they say, obviously have that be your leveling out, your balancer. But what makes it to the point of where we can't? Maybe I want us to all do a challenge for ourselves. The hashtag too good to be true challenge, right? The challenge is to expect good things, not wait for it and like a little dog panting at the table, just hoping a piece of potato or some turkey bacon falls off or whatever it might be, so they can lick it up and oh yeah, too good to be true, I got it. No, I'm saying like allow it to be, expect good things, expect great things, and even if they don't come in the time frame you should not have on it, allow it to be so. That too good to be true feeling is only there because we are not allowing it to be true and feel good. People always say the law of attraction, vibrational moment. And you might want to check out your next chapter. We're going to be having that released on the realdoubledosechannel.com as well as the Lex Effect coaching. So it's going to be on there. We're going to give you a little boom, boom, boom free download so you can check that out. I'll let you know when the rollout for the Lex Effect rolling out in different ones. But just to have that, maybe get to the end. The Law of Attraction series is a cool series that Justin and his team were talking about, that kind of rolled out with Angela collaboration of talking. So yeah, it's a challenge to say, I'm going to expect good. You're not going to stand in line expecting someone to pay your lunch. But if it happens, it happens. And maybe you thinking that, man, maybe someone could pay my lunch, so later on I can pay somebody else's lunch. Whatever it might be the chain reaction. Don't wait for the chain to start. Make the line happen yourself. Hey, here's $5 extra. I want to pay 5 on the person's meal behind me. Or here's this, and not just wait for yourself. Let someone else feel, is this too good to be true? Like for me, it felt like I was stealing from him when I gave him that love token, should I say, for him and his wife, because I felt like I was already receiving it. I already had received it. I knew it was going to somebody. When I saw him, I was more high off of giving than receiving. Become the giver in a very balanced way, not the person that's taken advantage of, but the giver. You should love the fact that people can come to you. I remember Prophet E was saying that it's good. People say, oh, people come to me for everything. It's different if you're sabotaged and put down and can't get relief and just tired out your wits. No one cares. You have to take care of your mental health, your overall health, everything. And that's one thing I'm bad at a lot of areas because I do a lot of sacrifice. Although the greater good is more higher, I still need to balance my sleep, my hydration, and so forth. I'm getting there. I know some deep holistic, and then my grandfather, the medicine man, different herbs and tonics, which we're coming out with that tonic level. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. But being able to have those understandings that, hey, I want to be able to be that. And if you can't believe it for yourself, make it happen for someone else. Obviously, in the understanding of not emptying out your savings or your bank account or spending your last dime on it without taking care of your responsibilities. But anything, go to spiritofmindelevation.com if you want any disclaimers on our terms and service and so forth, or whatever else it may be that you want to have some clarity on. Common sense practices at our Real Double Dose channel.blogspot.com that we've had. And I don't know, I know it's been a little all over the place, but that's what love is all about. That's what keeping that is all about. And I want to say that I'm going to give you as much as I can from the double doses. But this is your girl Lex coming at you always. I hope it made sense. And if not, then I will be back with you soon and I will send you my blessings. But remember to be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of the spirit. And we will be back with you very, very soon. Hashtag too good to be true. I don't think so. It belongs to you. It belongs to us. We love you.